Right friends, welcome back to news analysis, and for week number 51, 52 and 53, these three are the last weeks of 2015, and during these 3 weeks we are going to present you important events of 2015. The important events of 2015 will be presented in 3 modules, that is news analysis of 51st week, 52nd week and 53rd week. And during 51st and 52nd weeks, we are covering the national events, and during 53rd week, we will cover international events. Right, let us start. And 2015 important events part 1, and these are national events. Government brought ordinance to make land acquisition easy and investor friendly, but finally it got shelved. Look into the next one. National Judicial Appointments Commission was approved by Parliament, and finally it was struck down by Supreme Court, and Supreme Court finally brought back the collegium system. And if you look at third event, Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India Aayog, that was brought in place of Planning Commission. Chairperson is the Prime Minister. Vice Chairperson is Arvind Panagadia. The main focus of this Niti Aayog is decentralization. Look into the next one. Minimum education qualification prescribed for Panchayat Raj elections in Rajasthan and Haryana. And common man is asking, why there is no minimum educational qualification prescribed for MLAs and MPs? Is the minimum educational qualification really required for contesting in village panchayats as sarpanches and ward members? Finally, Supreme Court recently ratified the Panchayat Raj law of Haryana. Look into the next one. Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao scheme was launched. This is in view of the alarming trend of sex ratio in some states like Haryana. And Sukanya Samruddhi scheme was launched, that is a savings scheme for girl child in the age group of 0 to 10 years. Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, largest financial inclusion project in the world, and entered Guinness Book of World Records. Other important aspect is DBTL, Direct Benefit Transfer for LPG, popularly known as PEHL, entered Guinness Book of World Records. More than 15 crore people are getting direct benefit through this PEHL, and more than 15 crore people are getting direct benefit, and it also entered Guinness Book of World Records. Famous cartoonist R.K. Lakshman passed away. RBI reduced repo rate by 125 basis points. During the entire year, repo rate came down from 8% to 6.75%. Aam Aadmi Party achieved one of the biggest electoral victories in independent India by sweeping 67 out of 70 assembly constituencies in Delhi assembly elections. There is a landmark shift. 14th Finance Commission increased the share of states in centre's divisible pool of taxes from 32% to 42%. It indicates that centre's support to states may come down in future because already share of taxes are increased to 42% from 32%. First indigenously developed rotavirus vaccine, Rotavac, was launched. Rotavirus is primarily responsible for diarrhea in children. Look into the next one. Coal Mines Special Provisions Act 2015 was passed, and private parties will be allowed for the first time after more than 40 years in coal mining on commercial scale. So now private parties will be allowed to extract coal on commercial terms, and the monopoly of Coal India Limited has gone. Similarly, Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation, that is MMDR Amendment Act 2015 came into existence. This will facilitate transparent allocation of various minerals by states. Vivek Debroy panel gave report on restructuring of railways. New trade policy was announced, and by 2020, it aims to reach exports of goods and services to $900 billion. At present, goods and services put together, our exports are around $460 billion, and it will be an Herculean task to reach the level of $900 billion by 2020 from around $460 billion within 5 years. Mission Indradhanush was launched in 201 districts of the country. At present, the vaccination is 65% and the government wants to increase it to 90% coverage within a period of 5 years. With that in mind, Mission Indradhanush was launched in 201 districts of the country. Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana was inaugurated by the Prime Minister, and it gives loans up to rupees 10 lakhs. Under Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, basically Mudra will act as a refinance agency, and this will help micro and small enterprises in the country. Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana was launched with just rupees 330 rupees premium per annum. People will get life cover up to rupees 2 lakhs. Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana with just rupees 12 per annum. Accident insurance will be there up to rupees 2 lakhs. Atal Pension Yojana, it is not that successful, but this was launched by the government so as to give protection to the people above 60 years of age. Debate on net neutrality is going on in this country. Airtel announced Airtel Zero and subsequently traced back, and Free Basics by Facebook gave rise to serious debate in the country with regard to net neutrality. And there is a viewpoint that this Free Basics may prioritize certain websites over other websites. Under Operation Rahat in Yemen, India rescued 4,741 Indians from Yemen. Not only Indians, it rescued nationals of other countries also, and this act was highly applauded by the people from various quarters. Call drops were taken seriously by Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, and ₹1 penalty is proposed for each call drop from January 1, 2016 at a maximum of 3 per day. Looking to the next one, Smart Cities Mission. 100 cities will be developed. Central government will give ₹100 crores to each city under Smart Cities Mission for the next 5 years. That is launched, and Amrit was launched in place of Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission. Amrit is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. So, Amrit replaced JNNURM. 12 cities or towns of religious importance were named under Prasad. Prasad is a pilgrimage, rejuvenation and spirituality augmentation drive. This is piloted by Ministry of Tourism, and 12 cities or towns of religious importance were selected. Hriday scheme was launched. Hriday is Heritage City Development and Augmentation Yojana, and the criteria rich cultural heritage and cultural history were taken. Ministry of Urban Development is piloting Hriday scheme, and in Prasad and Hriday there are 10 towns and cities common. India-Bangladesh signs a landmark land boundary agreement, another achievement, and the Bangladeshi enclaves within Indian territory will become part and parcel of India, and India's enclaves in Bangladeshi territory will become part and parcel of Bangladesh. So, the contentious issue for several years was solved, and the problem was created because the two areas were ruled by separate kings. One is ruled by Raja of Kuch Bihar, the other one ruled by Nawab of Rangpur, and these enclaves are given as the stakes in the game of chess between two kings, which resulted in trauma for these citizens for several years. Amendments to Juvenile Justice Act 2000 cleared by Parliament, because of which the persons committing heinous crimes between 16 to 18 years of age can be tried as adults. And this became necessitated because of the convict in Nirbhaya case. One of them was minor and he was made free after 3 years in observation home. And now 16 to 18 years can be convicted for heinous crimes just like adults. Goods and Services Tax Bill struck in Parliament. You have to wait for some more time for it to pass, and there are estimates that the GDP will increase by around 1.5 to 2% once this Goods and Services Tax comes into existence. Environmental compensation charge was imposed in Delhi with a view to reduce air pollution. India wants to generate 175 gigawatt of renewable energy by 2022, out of which 100 gigawatt will be solar. Government launched 3 schemes: gold monetization scheme, sovereign gold bond scheme and India gold coin, primarily with a view to reduce gold imports. But so far, only sovereign gold bond scheme is successful up to some extent, but gold monetization scheme is a failure till date. India's GDP growth is the highest among big nations, and so far in the current financial year, India has grown by 7.2%, whereas China has grown by around 6.8 or 6.9%, and India recorded the highest GDP growth among the big nations in the world. Next one, Nestle is into controversy due to Maggi noodles, excess lead and MSG levels, and subsequently the issue was resolved to some extent, but FSSAI not satisfied, is approaching Supreme Court. So that is the present status of this. The first International Day of Yoga was observed on 21st June, and this resolution was adopted in the United Nations with support of 177 nations, and several nations observed International Day of Yoga on 21st June. Right friends, these are the events, national events which we have discussed in brief under part 1, and for other national events please listen to week 52. Right? Have a nice day. Thank you.